let's do the maths. This is how you spend less than $1,000 for just over a week in the Philippines, Siargao. There was a lot of love and a lot of hype on my channel for my Philippines Siargao trip. I thought today, why not break down an Excel spreadsheet of every single dollar I spent to get to the Philippines and whilst I was there. People see all my travel and my lifestyle and think, gosh, I wish I could afford to do that. But I'm telling you, Philippines has to be one of the most budget-friendly trips to purchase your tickets there, as well as once you're there, your lifestyle. I wasn't expecting it to be that cheap on like how much I would spend every day on my meals, activities. Let's go through this. Let's see how much money I spent 10 days in the Philippines. Obviously, I need to buy a flight there. Now, I have to give credit to my partner who constantly is on the search for just cheap flights. He knows where to look, okay? And that is not on your expensive airlines. Sometimes you're gonna have to settle for a bit more of a budget airline if you want that cheap flight. But hey, planes, I don't know much about planes, but they're all made the same to get us there safely. So save your money. Anyway, so that flight from Melbourne to Singapore, Singapore to Cebu. That was our first leg with the one overlay, was 220 Australian dollars. It is honestly cheaper to fly there, which is a whole nother country, than it is to fly within our own states of Australia. But hey, I'm not complaining, I went to another country. Then our flight from Cebu to Siargao, which don't expect big things at Siargao Airport. This thing is a little shack, which honestly just adds character and all to the experience. You're on like a little plane with a propeller. And that flight only cost $27. So far, we've spent $237 getting there. Next up, we've kind of averaged it out on how much we spent each day. We were there for 7 days in this part of Siargao. Between the two of us, we were obviously just kind of sharing the amount as we do, like it's just all on one card. So I've just averaged it out into 2 people. So if you're going with someone and you both want to really split the cost, this is going to give you a rough idea of like what you'd spend as a partner or with your best friend if everything's pretty even and you're just splitting costs. In Siargao, we spent roughly $80 a day, and that was like $40 each on average. This included our motorbike that we rented for that full 7 days, which is a really great tip. When you first get there, go to the motorbike places. We actually, with our car that drove us from the airport to our place, we were just chatting away, like always make conversation. You never know their connections. He was like, yeah, I've got a motorbike place. I know someone who'll hook you up. Just chat to people. They'll tell you where to go. Like you don't have to know everything before going to these places. Especially Philippines, it's a super friendly, they speak Tagalog. They also know English so well, so that is super convenient that you can just chat away to them. He led us on to a place to hire the motorbike, which is where you can get a bit better of a deal. So we hired a motorbike for the full 7 days, and that is where you can save money. So that is included within our $80 a day for the pair of us was our motorbike, as well as our food at the restaurants, our food on the street, because we would pretty much eat our lunch on the street food. You just walk past the little places, get some skewers, rice. That's like your lunch. Then for dinner, you can either do the same, or there is quite a nice, some restaurants you can explore, and it's super affordable. Like you can go to a fancy ceviche place and it is so cheap. We also included our one activity that we chose to do while we were there, because we really chose to live that nomad life. My partner was working while we were over there. We'd just go sit at cafes, go to the beach, tan, repeat, motorbike rides. So the one activity we chose to do on a full day was island hopping. And this is included in the $80 a day. Crazy, because that island hopping cost us, I think, roughly $30 each. And you go to about 6 to 8 different islands, stop on and off, food, boodle fights. They provide everything for you within that deal. It is so affordable and such an amazing experience. If you go to the Philippines and don't go island hopping, what are you doing? Like, it is so cheap, it is so beautiful. You'll never see anything like it. That water is the bluest and clearest water I've ever seen. So that is included within the $80 a day. Accommodation is something I haven't averaged out and included in our daily price. So accommodation, we chose to stay in the one villa for the full week. And there was definitely even more budget-friendly options. There's more expensive options, and then there's also hostels. If you're traveling by yourself, definitely go to the hostels. They were beautiful. Some of them have like beach access. They have activities included. There's so much options. There was like a lot of hostels as well, and they were all really beautiful beachy vibes. It was $378 for the both of us. That equals $175 each for the week. That is insane. Let me just do that maths. We paid $25 a day for a beautiful villa. You're watching the footage right now. It even actually had upstairs, so it could literally fit someone else if you also had a friend, or there was 3 of you, 3 girlfriends, you just want this one villa. There was like plenty of room and a kitchen, which is actually where we also chose to save a lot of money. We would go buy the fresh eggs at the market, bananas, mangoes. Yeah, I've never tasted bananas like this in my life. I was eating like 3 bananas a day. They were incredible. Then obviously getting home, we had to actually fly back to the main city, Cebu, before we could then fly to home. The flight from Siargao on our little propeller to Cebu was $40. And we needed to stay in a hotel overnight in Cebu, which I'm sure you could find other options. You could probably go straight from that airport, have a little bit of an overlay, and then get on your flight home. We chose to stay overnight in Cebu in a hotel, so this is definitely can add a bit of expenses, but it was still really reasonable and a great reset before then flying again. Our hotel was $79 for that one night, divided by 2. You've spent $40 each. Then we actually did get an Uber back and forth from the airport to that hotel, as well as I needed to get some medicine because food poisoning did hit me. Yes, you're meant to be very, very careful and, you know, don't drink the water, all of that. I was super careful. I honestly think I got food poisoning from actually the most westernized restaurant out of all of them. I don't think it was the street food that I was having. So look, it's bound to happen, especially if you haven't been to Southeast Asia before. Like me, this was my first time. I got sick. So this little part of our hotel, our Uber, and I went to the pharmacist, got myself some antibiotics. This is all included in this price, as well as then we treated ourselves to the House of Lechon, which was so beautiful. Lechon, if you don't know, means roast. So like lechon baboy is like roast pork, roast pig. Philippines is known for their lechon, and it is the most oiliest, delicious thing you'll ever taste. We spent $50 all up on the Uber to the airport, our food at House of Lechon, and medicine. So $50 was spent on that kind of overnight day, and then $79 was for the hotel. So now we're on the leg home, Cebu to Melbourne. Forgot where I was from. Super cheap. And how long is the flight? I think the flight was 8 hours. It's roughly 8 hours. It's pretty good. It's a really enjoyable flight. Enough time to get a good sleep in, and also not too long that you're on there for a really long time. It's not like flying to Europe for us Australians. It's much quicker and easier. So the flight home was $150. Crazy. So basically just on flights, our whole flight for return basically was $397. We flew back and forth from the Philippines with in-between flights for less than $400. That is so good. If you're wanting to travel Southeast Asia, this just shows, keep an eye out on flights. You can get incredible prices. This is how you spend less than $1,000 for just over a week in the Philippines, Siargao. $981, your whole trip for less than $1,000. Incredible. Honestly, I don't even know if you'd spend less than that in your own home with rent, groceries, things you get up to in your hometown, you're probably nearly spending $1,000 sometimes. Get yourself to the Philippines. I hope this helped. I hope this gave you a really good insight into kind of what I spent on my holidays. Since you guys loved seeing the holidays so much, I thought it'd be super insightful to also show you how affordable it was for that incredible experience that I'll never forget. And I would 100% do it again. Fingers crossed, wouldn't get food poisoning again. Also, just be mindful in Southeast Asia, sometimes it's just genuinely hard to avoid. But it did not take away from the experience of the trip, and less than $1,000 left my bank account. So I left a very, very happy, sun-kissed girl.